Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. You guys make camp that night.
Is our camp in some sort of cover or just on the road?
I have built you a campsite.
Oh.
And I have given you controllable tokens. You are around your campsite now.
Oh my god, I have to zoom in really. Oh,
you're tiny. How big is Droop? You're a tiny creature. You're really hard to see. It's why people ignore you all the time.
I'm not tiny, I'm small.
You're really small, Droopy.
That token is
Neal,
a bit too
Zen, why are you in a bush? Why did you instantly...
That's where Zen's gonna sleep. Zen is just crawling into a bush and sleeping in it.
Is that log hollow?
Yeah, semi-hollow? Carlo, why are you in a tree? Why did, at the moment I give you guys a battle map, everybody runs into some sort of cover? It's like, there's a battle map! Quickly, to cover everybody!
I specifically said we were setting up an ambush for whatever.
No, Neal,
remember?
You just assume that on the average night where there's not a battle map, I'm not sleeping in a bush.
Okay.
In reality, I'm just sleeping in a bush.
Zen, how many spider bites do you get a trip? Like, every night you wake up with a new spider bite. Maybe that's where you get your magic powers. Is like various spiders biting you at night.
It makes sense if Droopy is going into the hollow tree log because she doesn't have a tent.
Carlo, how are you in... Why? You just going to spend all night in a tree?
I'm going to stand watch up in the tree. I said specifically we were setting an ambush for whatever we saw before.
Exactly. Okay. As we go to sleep, I will cast Sacred Guardian on Zen. So for 5 days, I will know when he is in danger.
You wake up instantly. Zen's in danger.
And then receive a mental image of the endangered person's situation.
You see a spider crawling across his open eye while he's asleep.
I ignore
Neal,
it.
I don't have my eyes open while I'm asleep. How often do I have to say this in the freaking campaign?
I don't think that is what the spell defines as danger for their life.
It's a Black Widow spider. It could bite him and kill him right now.
She runs out.
Like, it's really not common, unless the person is basically allergic for someone to die from a Black Widow.
Well, maybe if they bit you on the eyeball instead of on the arm.
Okay, seriously, Neal.
All right, do you cast the spell with Zen's knowing, or do you creep up to him in the middle of the night and cast the spell on him?
I just say warning spell. If you're in danger, and touch him and cast the spell. So for 5 days now,
All right.
if he is in danger, I will get a mental image of his situation.
What if he's having a really terrifying nightmare and he believes he's in danger?
I think it has to be physical danger to his life.
Okay.
That's how I interpret it. So
Sure.
if someone would
It's
creep
not
up to him and raise a dagger to stab him, I would see the ward. I would see the. If someone would creep up to him and raise their dagger to stab him, I would see the warning. Probably, I would not. It would be too late to stop it, but I would see the warning.
Okay.
I would get a mental image. And
All right. No, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I thank you for so narrowly defining the scope of this spell. So let's take watches, everybody. What is the order of the watch?
I'm taking the first watch.
Also funny, the material is a rose petal that has been kissed by the
That's no, you're no spellcasters.
I had Zen.
Spellcasters always take the first and last watch.
So they can mem spells a little bit easier.
All right, fine.
So who's taking the first watch?
Droopy.
Okay. And then so it goes
actually-
Droopy, Carlo, Zen.
I'll take the last watch.
All right.
And Droopy's actually just going to sit inside the hollow log, being awake.
So you're on watch inside of the log where you can't see anything other than one direction.
Is it not completely hollow?
But let's if the log is completely hollow, your vision is limited to
voice
this
the
like
man.
tiny tunnel. Like anything coming from any other possible direction, and you would not notice it until it was too late.
How would they know that I am in there? That's Droopy's
Okay.
reason. I mean,
Droopy
if Zen
takes
is in
his watch.
her watch, and
Her
if
watch.
Zen is in danger, I know that other bloke is in a tree. So
All right, Droops, give me a perception check. So glad you're taking first watch.
let me see, what is my perception? Nah, it's not even that great, so...
Oh,
Meh.
okay. You're doing whatever it is that Droopy does while you're on watch. Which is what, by the way? What does Droopy do?
Probably pet her new skeletal rats.
It's kind of creepy.
He's a kobold cleric of Rossi, what do you expect?
I don't know. I guess that's what I should be expecting.
She killed a gnome family, Neal, don't forget that.
So you're petting these rats, kind of looking out the log every now and then. You do have infravision, so you can see pretty well, even though it's quite dark outside. When you hear something putting weight on the log above you, like literally, maybe not directly the spot above you, but this hollowed out log, you can hear something like begin to step on it slowly, carefully.
Let me just check a spell. Because Droopy is kind of creeped out by this.
Oh, I do have my dog Figaro.
Like an hour into the campaign. By the way, I have a watchdog.
I included that in my email to you. Remember?
Yeah, but when I asked you to describe your character, it really helps when you say, I bring a dog with me.
I listened to there because you had bloodhound tracking rules. How was I not supposed to get a bloodhound once I saw that you had bloodhound tracking rules?
How much did you pay for your bloodhound?
I paid the war dog, which is 20, which is higher than the hunting dog, which is 17, which I assumed was bloodhound.
Okay. I don't remember
And I
which
have animal
one.
training.
Yeah, so I do recall reading that.
Yeah.
Didn't I put animals? Hunting and tracking dogs are the same cost, actually. You can go ahead and refund yourself a little bit of money.
Oh, are they 20 gold?
It should be 1,500 copper for a hunting or tracking dog, and 2,500 copper for a guard dog, and 1,000 copper for a war dog. So it should have cost you 15 gold pieces for your dog.
Okay, I was just using the player's handbook.
Right. I have modified economy rules. I'm very specific about my games.
Droopy is
yes.
very loudly going to cast Battle Fate on herself. Very loudly.
Okay. I don't want to search for Droopy. I want to search for dog. Hold on. Let me give you guys a dog to play with. Rob, here's your dog. No bloodhounds or tracking dogs are typically like, bloodhounds and red with big floppy ears, but you somehow have like this pit bull looking sucker. What was your dog's name?
Figaro.
Figaro. Like the mountain? I guess that's Figueroa.
No, like opera?
Sure.
Figaro.
Sure. So Droopy begins loudly talking and casting Battle Fate. I think this is probably loud enough to wake all of you up. And we immediately jump into combat.
So I do get Battle Fate off before.
Let me roll for surprise for the enemy. No, they are most definitely not surprised considering they're sneaking into your camp. So you'll just get a bonus of initiative of 1 compared to everyone else. Because you got the drop on them.
-3. So. Yeah, plus. Did it? Droopy. Cool, Droopy.
Okay. The first enemy goes at 4, but it looks like Zen is the very first person. Wait, Carlo has not rolled initiative.
I haven't rolled yet. I was doing something very important. Got D10. All right. Okay.
All right. I'm going to say Figaro goes on your turn, Carlo.
All right.
Just for ease of everything. Zen, you're the first person to wake up. I think you wake up casting Magic Missile. Just go like, Magic Missile!
No,
Right?
I wake up. I like jump out of the bush, just like color spray.
Color spray! Where do you color spray?
Who's ever close?
It's nighttime, it's dark. It's like colors. Pick a direction. I have the monsters still hidden since it's completely dark and you're just kind of color spraying at
There's
random.
a fire right there, Neal.
If you look, the fire is out.
There's a fire right there.
It's out.
Is there the moonshine?
Everything's out. We're outside.
Give me a direction that you're color spraying in.
All right, Neal. I mean, I was in the bush. I assume they're coming like, I don't know, from somewhere like towards the center of the fire for some reason. Just like they're in the middle of the camp before we notice.
That makes more sense, yeah. I can back that. So what's the AoE of
Yeah,
color
I just
spray?
like color spray the fire. Oh god, let me look. AoE 5 by 20 by 20 foot ledge.
5 by 20 by 20. So that's
so like
gonna
20 feet.
Yeah, so it's
So
gonna be like
20 feet at the end,
these 4 squares.
20 feet away from me.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like these 4, and then like this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. So you just like color spray the log that Droopy's in. All right.
I can't see him.
You do hit one of the creatures who was walking on that log. Now, Droopy, I don't know how color spray works because you're definitely in the area of effect, but you're in a log, but you can see the end of the log where the color spray is also still hitting. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to
I do
ask
not
you
get
to.
hit by the color spray. I have full power from it.
Yeah, yes and no, because color spray is a visual effect. If you see the color spray and you're in it, right? If you're blind, it doesn't work. So it's not whether or not it touches you, it's whether or not you see it and you're in the area of effect. But you do have like super cover. So I'm going to give you +5 on your saving throw.
What level is Zen?
5.
Hold on.
I'm the same level as him,
5.
so I get a save anyway.
Yeah.
No, is it higher or same?
I don't know. You have given me a +5 on your saving throw because you're like in the log.
So what is my save? Use a spell. Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so you're totally fine. The other creature immediately just like clunks out on the ground. Ah!
Alright, as a free action, as, you know, kind of like a free action, can I just pull out a continual lightstone? No. It's like in one of my component pouches.
Yeah, but you're like all curled up in your thing. You wake up and you spray, and then you're like, where the fuck did I put my pouch? And there's like, you know, all of your personal possessions are tucked around you, and you're in a bush, right? Like, you're in a bush. It's not very easy to be. When was the last time you crawled underneath a bush? It's very cramped in there. I haven't crawled in a bush since I was in elementary school because I don't fit in bushes anymore. So it's a difficult area to be in. Maybe if you were sleeping out in the open, it'd be fine, but you're squeezed into this bush. Next up on the initiative order is the guy who was color sprayed, and he's unconscious. So the next one goes at 7, which is Carlo and Figaro and the one remaining monster's turn. Or maybe there's more.
All right. What can I see here?
Well, you're human, So you see darkness. The moon is in... It is the night before a new moon. So it's pretty dark. You do see a flurry of color that illuminates this log, and you see a hobgoblin just kind of like fall off the log backwards.
Good, now the rats can feast.
All right. Was there just the one? Did I see anything else? I mean,
that's the only thing you saw in the flash of color.
Nothing else was silhouetted or illuminated at all?
Nope, just that area of effect designated by the purple lines.
All right. So, I mean, the distance here is very short. I still just can't see anything at all, even with a perception check.
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Why don't I?
Before
Why don't I, Neal? I'm asking a question. Why don't I?
Because it would only give you a half action afterwards. So you can make one attack or a half move, but you couldn't do anything else?
Well, if I don't see a target, then I can't do any action. Really.
All right. Well, that's the reason why you might not. You look about. That's it. It was just a lone hobgoblin coming into your camp. We should probably kill the battle music.
All right. I'm going to draw my swords, and I'm, concealing myself, hiding in shadows, and etc. As I'm, being stealthy as I look about. And I'm still keeping an eye out for anything and listening as well.
Okay. What does Figaro do?
Does Figaro smell anything odd?
I don't know. Why don't you give me a perception check for Figaro? I presume a tracking dog would have quite high perception. So why don't we just start Figaro's perception at 17?
I think he faintly smells a rainbow.
Also,
you can't smell a rainbow. You taste the rainbow.
I will set the rats on the hobgoblin.
All right.
We'll get to your turn. Hold on. Can we put a D before that 20 or a 1D before that 20?
Darn.
Yes. Rolling 20 plus 17.
That made a huge difference. So basically, Figaro's nose goes into like full Terminator scanning vision, mode.
Well, Figaro notices more than one target. I'm not sure how to determine what a dog would go after. Is it the nearest target? Probably, considering that this one's not quite dead. So, which one is closer? 5, 10, 15? No, the other one is closer. Figaro, let's turn the battle music back up, though. Turns immediately. Whoops, that's not the right button.
Figaro color sprays in.
Figaro turns forward and leaps at this bush, barking and yapping and making an attack roll at -4 to hit. 4 to hit for cover and low visibility of the creature in the bush.
I see a fellow bushgoer.
Yes.
-4, then?
At -4. Ooh, Figaro bites and snashes. The creature gives a "Arr!" and releases a crossbow bolt towards Figaro. Also with penalties to hit. But needs to actually roll a number. 15, 11. What is Figaro's AC? Do we know? What is dog AC?
I could have looked up dogs.
14?
13 or 14 sounds about right. Armor class...
13, probably.
13, war dogs are 14. We're gonna say Figaro has wild dog AC, so that's a 13. The crossbow bolt goes wide, sailing well past Figaro and into the great beyond. Droopy, it's your turn.
Battle fade.
On yourself. You're battle faded.
And I will... Can I command the rats as simple as a yell?
Can you command the what?
The rats. The scats and zats.
To attack something?
Yeah, wait,
What is your command for them?
Yeah, let me just... Oh no, I can't see what is outside, so... Maybe I move outside.
All right. You can go ahead and step outside. You have good low light vision, don't you?
Infravision, so...
Yes. So you see this hobgoblin backing out of a bush, desperately reloading its crossbow, while Figaro is like making his way through the bush.
Yeah. They obey simple verbal commands, so I will point at the hobgoblin and okay. And the necklace of two skeleton rats jump up. I think it's like a skeleton rats. Actually, rats are quite fast.
Yes, rats are faster than people, everybody. Rats have 15 movement. You cannot outrun a rat in 2nd edition.
Yes.
Good to
What
know,
if you
Neal.
set caltrops?
So zombie
you-
rats and skeleton rats.
How many of them do you have?
I have 2 zats and 6 scats.
Well, make me 8 attacks. The first 2 are the zats. The rest of them are the scats.
Can I just say I love Zat Scats? Like,
Okay,
it's so
a
stupid.
19
That's
hits,
great.
A 19 will hit.
1 damage,
Beautiful.
and a 16,
A 16 will hit as well.
1 damage. And they are now scuttling.
The hobgoblin goes down. Right?
Please.
Hobgoblins have 1 hit die. It's 1 plus 1. Let me double check that because he rolled a 1 on his first hit die. Hobgoblins have 1 plus 1. That was a 2 HP hobgoblin. That's why he was in the bush. The rats proceed to chew the hobgoblin to death.
And I will lead them to the other hobgoblin.
Okay.
And Trudy's just laughing maniacally.
The rats descend upon the other hobgoblin and kill it as well.
And I will just say, okay, now come back. And go back
Alright.
and go back. Necklace now slightly bloodied.
All right, that's your night. Unfortunately, there are no hobgoblins left alive to question or interrogate or figure anything out. They're just dead. There is no further mystery to this encounter. It is over. There's no further possible follow-up on it. You do find, as I assume you're looting the bodies, one of them had a heavy crossbow. I'm sorry, a light crossbow. The other had a short sword. And both of them had, or one of them, the one with the short sword had 2 gemstones, and the other one had a few pieces of silver. Like someone roll me, whoever's picking up the silver, roll me 3d10, and that's how much silver it has.
Who wants to roll?
You do it.
Droopy loots the bodies. Who took the gems?
I take
I'll
1
take-
diamond.
I'll take one.
And we give 13 silver.
All right. So Zen takes a gem. Droopy takes 13 silver. You guys leave
No,
one.
I take a gem.
You take a gem. Okay.
The 13 silver we give to... What's his name?
All right.
Monte
So,
Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
What's the gem worth? What's the gem worth?
How would you know? Do you have appraisal?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I have appraising.
Really?
Yes. Check my original sheet if you don't believe me, Neal.
All right, I'll believe you. Yeah, they're worth 10 GP each.
Okay. It's kind of what I figured. It's just like a 10 GP gem.
Now,
I'm just like, oh, hey, like an onyx.
Nice. Carla,
Did
do
you
you have
just look
something
it
you
up?
want to say? No.
say, you two. Do you want this mystery to be unsolved, this adventure to be over? Or do you want to extend this seemingly random encounter?
Listen, boy, we got an egg to get.
Because we do have a bloodhound. So this isn't really something where we don't have anyone to question, so there's no way we could ever know more about this random encounter.
We have an egg to get.
We could follow them back to their lair.
Listen, Desmond already said that one group he sent to go get an egg, didn't get the egg. I don't want to be part of the second group that doesn't get the egg.
Fine. We'll leave an enemy at our backs.
Listen, we've only got 3 hours 45 or 2 hours 45 minutes.
What's the worst that could happen if we didn't get this egg?
We would lose out on something worth 100 or 1,000 GP.
Fine.
I don't think the hobgoblins are going to have 1,000 GP.
Fine. Off to the egg then.
Well, no, off to bed. We crawl back into the bush.
All right. You guys go back to sleep. The rest of your watches continue uneventfully. And you wake up the next day. It's a bright, beautiful, sunny day in Berkshire. And not in Berkshire, outside of Berkshire, in Drekis. Air is clean. There's a smell of rotting hobgoblin coming from nearby. And you can see that some sort of creatures have come and ate part of their faces in the middle of the night, but just their faces.
I assume it was the rats.
Might have just been Droopy's Zats and Scats. No one really knows. But you spend that day continuing on the way to the Great Horn, unless you have something else you want to do.
Nope.
I just say my internal monologues out loud as we go.
Do you have an internal monologue for us?
I
By the way,
how I came to be here with these two strangers hunting an egg.
I get distracted by the
random, and yet I can't help but feel like somebody up there is pulling the strings, and everything is a carefully crafted dance.
All right. Yeah, I forgot due to the whole appraisal. Oh, you don't have appraisal. No, I have appraisal thing. But I'm putting the crossbow and the sword on the cart.
Sure. Please add 1 light crossbow and 1 short sword to your sheet.
I have so little room.
That day you cross the Alardian Crest. There's not much to it. It's just kind of open grasslands as far as you can see. The Great Horn is there before you at all points in time, so it's very difficult to lose your way. But you make your way towards it, and sure enough, come towards the end of the day, you see a fort in the distance, slowly growing larger. It's maybe 100 feet on each side, nice big wooden walls, and there's a guard kind of pacing back and forth along the perimeter, who at some point sees you and starts blowing a horn. The gates open, and out on horseback ride 2 folks. One of them looks like a warrior of some sort. He has not a full-on lance, but a big spear tucked at his side. The other appears to be some sort of dignitary, maybe a messenger, maybe an executive or something. Unarmed, except for a nice short sword, but that looks kind of decorative. The 2 of them ride up on horseback to meet you out in the middle of the Alardian Crest.
Hello.
Greetings! Who are you and what is your business here?
We're adventurers from Shenanigans here to get a rock egg for Desmond.
I see. And you would like to stay with George at his encampment, would you?
We were told he has a key or something to get into the mines.
Yes. George does have a key or something to get into the mines. You may come and stay with us, and we will help provide you ways if you are truly friends of Desmond, but we must ask to take all of your weapons and spell components before we allow you admittance into our fort. We have had problems in the past.
All right, but these two in the cart, like, they were weapons from, what were they, hobgoblins that, like, attacked us last night? You want to buy them?
I shall leave that to George to discuss. Please disarm yourselves, and my lancy fellow here will take the weapons from you. Trust me, they will be returned to you at the end of your stay with us. We mean no harm. Just want to prevent violence.
Can I keep my pebbles? They're continual light pebbles. That's all they do.
Sure. Since you have been so forthright in disarming yourselves, you may keep your pebbles.
Neal,
I like my pebbles.
Do they think of a shovel as a weapon? I give them a light crossbow.
No, they don't take your shovel.
Okay, I give them my spell components. But I keep the bag with the dead rats. Dead rats for code.
That's fine. They approach Carlo. No, they leave your spell book. They just take your spell components. They go up to Carlo, or the one guy goes up to Carlo after dumping all these other things in his saddlebags, and moves to take your weapons from you if you don't hand them over yourself.
When he does, I have 17 decks. My hand snaps over Cadge's wrist. It says, "Nobody takes my weapons. I'll stay out here."
He just joined our group like today. I don't care.
They give a nod and escort you guys back to the fort, leaving Carlo on the outside, shutting the doors and posting an extra guard whose job it is just to shadow Carlo and keep an eye on him. There's been too much bloodshed at this fort in the past. They're not taking any chances.
All right, I'm just going to look for a place to camp nearby.
Yeah, it's kind of just like big open grasslands around. There's maybe some trees fairly distantly scattered, like, if you drive up or down the 101 and there's those like big open areas, but then there'll be like a hill with like a tree on it and like 6 cows huddled underneath the tree. It's that sort of like scattered trees. I know that doesn't make any sense to like everybody watching this, but Rob knows what I'm talking about.
Is there any bushes, Neal?
No, it's just grasses and trees.
The real question is, if we went in, would they take his dog?
No, you can't.
Would they take his dog if you had gone
you
there?
can't take a dog. You can't like confiscate a dog. That's weird.
Would they take my holy water? Nah, they don't know it's holy water, so
they're taking weapons and spell components.
So they don't know the water skin with holy water is holy water.
Yeah, right, why would they?
So while they're going in there, I guess this is the perfect opportunity for me to search for herbs to make poisons.
Oh god, you have herbalism toxicology too.
I'm the assassin kit.
Oh god. How about that Droopy is not joining you. He is inside.
So what do you want as far as for me to search for some herbs to make poisons, Neal?
Let me do a couple of quick Google searches, see if I can find any toxic or poisonous plants that live in like grassland areas.
Okay, rose petal.
Like stitchberry or thistleleaf?
Those are less poisonous and more just annoyances, right? Thistleleaf is just like really fucking irritating. It gets like all these little things in you. I don't remember what stitchleaf does.
It gives people -2 to hit, which is something.
Yeah, it's really
I think those are the only plant-based ones that are either contact or injection that you listed.
Yeah, let's see.
Holy symbol. I'm just checking all my spells.
Hemlock would be good.
Damn it.
Hemlock would be nice. What is
I know, Droopy.
I'm surprised I can actually cast a lot of my spells without components. I mean, other components in my holy symbol.
The range of Larkspur. I don't know. Why do you not have pictures with ranges across the entire world? I've become so accustomed to having all the information I could possibly want at my fingertips that when something obscure is not easily findable, I feel gypped.
Something has been taken from you.
Why don't you make me a herbalism check, see if you can't find anything.
Is it based off of intelligence or perception or what?
Herbalism's based off of.
Well, I mean, for searching for herbs, would it be off perception or?
No, it would still be off of whatever the base herbalism skill is, because it'd be using that skill to know what sort of area to look for. It's not just like wandering aimlessly. It's like, yes, this thing grows in like shady areas or like in little gullies or whatever's.
Oh, you do it.
All right, so herbalism says it goes off either intelligence or wisdom.
Pick one then, I don't care.
All right.
I have a system for this. I do care. I do care deeply. Hold on. Let me look it up.
Wait, what? Intelligence or wisdom for herbalism?
It's a lie.
I think on the sheet you made, it is intelligence.
Herbalism is intelligence at -2.
Damn it. Wisdom Droopy would have a far better chance.
You're pretty sure that what you're looking for doesn't exist out here in these plains. That's actually so unlikely that it's not even worth looking for.
All right.
Meanwhile, back in the camp, George comes out, flanked by 2 miners, each with heavy picks, looking very suspiciously at you. George says, my emissary tells me that you are sent from Desmond to fetch a roc's egg.
Yes.
Good. Do you have any ulterior motives?
I mean, if there's loot that the rock has in its nest, probably get that too, but...
Good. Well, you may rest here for the night. We have some mines that scatter all over the Great Horn. But we've been having some problems with them. I'm happy to let you use the mines and give you maps to get you through, but as of late, the mines have been taken over by strange creatures. Monstrous creatures. They're like bipedal lizards, but with wings.
Seems like an issue.
It is. We've actually had to stop all mining operations while we figure out a way to deal with these things. You see, my boys here are excellent miners, but fighting is not their forte. They are poorly armed.
Hire somebody to do that for them.
Can they see? Do you know if they can see invisible people?
I have no way of knowing this information.
Okay.
But if you can eradicate these pests, I will be happy to provide you with any sort of maps you need to get wherever you need to go. You say you want to go steal a rock's egg? We do have a mine shaft that accidentally breached the outside near the peak. We were chasing a copper vein, and, when... It's hard to figure out where the outside of a mountain is from the inside, and we accidentally opened up a hole fairly close to that rock's nest.
Do you happen to know how heavy a rock's egg is?
It's about this big. Do eggs float or sink in water?
Doesn't that depend on how old they are?
Depends on if they're hard boiled or not.
Ah.
I don't know why boiling an egg would change its density.
Ruby looks at them. Never boiled an egg. Just eat them.
Well, if eggs sink in water, then it weighs more than, or at least the weight of that amount of water. If they float in water, then a little bit less. Water is pretty heavy. Rock's egg is about yay big. I'm going to guess a couple 100 pounds.
Just a couple 100 pounds?
Yes. It's 2 feet
on.
across. Well, it depends. Is it 2 feet the long way or 2 feet the short way? Because if it's 2 feet the short way, then its volume is at bare minimum 2 times 2 times 2, 8 cubic feet of water. And each cubic foot of water weighs about 64 pounds. So I guess it's not quite, because it's an egg shape. It's not a cube. So it might be, let's call it 8 cubic feet of water if eggs sink in water.
A human is essentially water.
Yes, but humans are not very, we're quite thin across. I myself am only, do a quick calculation.
Wait, what is he doing?
I am only about 3 cubic feet total.
If you were to curl yourself up into a ball, you would probably be that size, correct?
He gives
the size you're giving for a rock egg, or bigger, actually.
If you were to liquefy me, not curl me up, but completely liquefy me, I would be smaller than a rock's egg. I have done the math to convert a normal egg to an egg if it were 2 feet in diameter. It is very heavy.
I turn around. Did they leave him in with his weapons?
No, I thought we were just having a discussion with Neal concerning the weight of eggs.
I thought this was a discussion with
a guy. Okay, then I'm not there. I'm out searching for herbs. For deadly poisons.
Hold on. Doing some quick calculations. The rock egg weighs roughly 500 pounds.
The guy gives a shrug. I don't know. I've never carried one before.
Fair enough.
I'm sure you'll figure out the problem. Desmond wouldn't have assigned this to you if it was impossible to do. He's not that sort of man.
Oh, we've got the cart. Oh, yes, by the way, you want to buy this, crossbow and the sword that were from some hobgoblins?
We can definitely use a crossbow and sword right about now.
All right.
He will buy them for 3/4 of market price.
Ooh, that's a lot.
So the short sword he'll buy for 10, so that's 45 times 3/4.
Should have raided that hobgoblin camp with sold all the weapons to the miners.
He will buy it for he will give you 33 pieces of gold and then 8 silver pieces.
For both?
Yep.
Okay. So 43. Paid for the cart. I split it with Derpy.
33 gold and 7
silver. 33.
Yeah.
All right.
And 8 silver. Okay. He allows you to take your rest there.
Oh, yes. So there's a map you'll give us?
Right. We'll draw you a map that will lead you through the various passageways to the top of the mine.
Okay.
Definitely. We don't have tracks that go all the way up, so it's going to be difficult to get your cart through mine. We typically just roll the stones downhill. It's cheaper that way. It might be more dangerous for the workers, but you just shout when something's rolling down. I'm sure you can get your cart through. It'll just be difficult. It'll be slow going.
All right.
You'll have to be careful. Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
I don't know. Drink with the guards.
Yeah, that's sure. That's fine. Rob, are you skulking about outside? Are you trying to sneak in and murder George?
No one's paid me to do that.
All right.
I'm just gonna find a comfortable place to rest and do so.
Okay. You rest. It's another night, and we'll take another break. because it's nighttime. See you guys on the other side of a break.